Daddy, I am gay. Mm. That's quite a way to start today's conversation. As a father, as a father, how do you respond to that right away? And I'm going to ask the fathers out there because everyone is different. You have fathers that are accepting of their children regardless who they love. Then you have fathers who are raised to believe the way love should be, what love has been known to be, and they carry that throughout life. And so they are not as accepting when they hear such a phrase, Daddy, I am gay. Daddy, I'm bi-curious. Daddy, I have a love interest that you might not agree with. As a father, how do you respond? It doesn't make a difference what race, color, creed you are, what age you are when it comes to this conversation. And this conversation will not be for everyone. And so, as always, we are going to give you guys time to leave. For the rest of us, let's dive deep into what may be uncomfortable for you. And then I'm going to discuss what it is for me. The world is forever changing. The way we view things, the way we communicate will forever change. What may not have been acceptable yesterday doesn't mean that it's not acceptable today. Definitely doesn't mean that it won't be acceptable tomorrow. The world is forever changing. My daughters are different, both of them. It's like night and day. With everything that they do in life, it's night and day. Regardless, what they come to me with, I want them to come to me. I want that conversation to be with me, with their father. I want them to know that I love them that much. I am comfortable that much. They can come to me with anything. So yeah, Daddy, I'm bi-curious. Okay, baby. I need for you to live your life because Daddy has lived his. All right, my life has not been perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I've had to fall multiple times. I picked myself back up. I kept going. But when my girls come to me and one may wish to experiment, one may have a love interest choice, that belongs to her. That's not up to me to say, yes, you should be with him, or no, you can't be with her, or no, you can't be with him. Love is different for everyone. What you accept, whom you choose to embrace, that's on you at the end of the day. Now, my oldest daughter, she's grown. She's been out the house. Live your life how you want to live your life, baby. My youngest daughter is still under my roof. But with her being under my roof, it doesn't change the fact that she's going to be curious. She's going to have feelings that go up and down. Her emotions are going to change and range. She's getting older. I would be a fool to think emotions for the same sex, opposite sex, won't run all over the place for her. I would be a fool to think that my baby girl is only interested in anime, things that are emo. That's going to change because she's forever changing. But I want for both of my girls to always feel comfortable and free, knowing that they can talk to me about anything. I am not judge or jury. All I can do at the end of the day as a father, all we can do as fathers at the end of the day, is make sure we support our household, make sure we support our kids. Do our best to raise them right so they do not get themselves in trouble. Be there, whether they need us to be there or not, but to be there, but to make a difference. For our presence is worth more than our presence, right? That's the reality at the end of the day. So having that conversation becomes, what is it that you want? Daddy, I don't know, but this is where I am. then fine. I will embrace that. If this is where you are, it may not have been how I was raised and things that I've seen in my past coming up. And my reality is this. When, like, now it's different. Now there's different ways individuals express themselves, who they choose to love, how they choose to identify themselves, and I respect it all. It's different for me because I don't know about it. I am not thoroughly educated in it, and that's the reality of the problem. The problem begins when you do not thoroughly educate yourself in something or what may be going on in the world today, but yet you pass judgment on what you're not educated about. That makes no sense. You need to learn. You need to understand. You need to have that open conversation with others who are living a particular lifestyle that you are uneducated about, so you can become educated, so you know how to handle given situations, so you know how to deal with those close to you when they make choices in life that you did not understand. It's easy to judge and just point blame and shame somebody, this, that, and the third, because that's easy to do because that's what the world continues to do. People react out of fear, and the fear comes from not understanding, not having any knowledge of, and making assumptions. You may not like that. You may not have liked to hear what I just said, but I'm still going to say it. I'm still going to put it out there. That fear comes in from the unknown. You don't know. A lot of you do not care to know. And the main individuals that that's going to affect are your kids. The ones that look up to you, that have been looking up to you for answers. Those that your kids should never be afraid to come and talk to you about anything. They should never have that fear. But when they have that fear, understand they are going to talk to somebody else. Be it their friends, be it what they allow social media to embed upon them. Like, it's going to be somebody else because it cannot be you because of the anger that you hold. Right? There's a lot of tension right here. Because what you allow to live inside of you that might keep you in a dark place, what you do not allow yourself to accept because you don't understand it, because that's not how you were raised. And I'm not putting out this video so I'm to force you to accept something you don't want to. That's your business. Do what you want to do. This is my channel. This is for me. This is for me. I love these open conversations. We have these about once a week. But what I'm noticing is my fam would much rather have these conversations that I'm having once a week than watch the food reviews. I can see that in the numbers, baby. I can see that in the numbers. You like when your boy jump up inside the truck and I sit here and chop it up with you for 10, 15, 20 minutes plus about real stuff. I say stuff so I don't have to get, YouTube strike for cursing. But for real stuff, for the real moments, for me just being transparent. Because I go through things, I'm still going through things. Like I said, I'm about to be 50 and I'm still going through and still learning because I have to. I still remember years ago, I got to take y'all back. Just so we can understand today's conversation, I have to take y'all back. Years ago in high school, I had a best friend. I say had because he and I, we haven't spoken in so long, but if I were to see him today, still embrace him like my brother back then. Still embrace him. What I didn't know in high school, though there were murmurings and whispers about it, was that he was gay. I didn't know. Like, he just had a bubbly personality. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know what he felt on the inside was something that he ever felt he could openly share. So he just kept that right here. He kept it on the inside. Never once did I stop to think, you had no girlfriends, B, for as long as I've known you. You had one, but it didn't even seem like a real relationship. It was just, maybe it was the save face. Because growing up then, much different than now. Like, you couldn't come out as gay or anything else, for that matter, then. Because the world was verbally abusive, physically abusive, right? Like, the moment people knew, they automatically started treating you different. Today, things are more acceptable. Not 100% accepted, but they are more acceptable, right? Then it wasn't. So my boy was probably living in fear to come on ever say anything to me, and we were close friends. That was family right there. Never said a word to me. But I would hear things. I was like, nah, he good, nah, he's straight. That ain't the homie, nah, all right? Because of my own ignorance back then when I was in high school. Again, things I didn't understand, things I didn't, read up on or have a conversation with anybody to better understand what being gay meant, right? What being gay meant had nothing to do with me. So why am I gonna learn about it? However, later on, and it was shortly after high school, I see my man one time. And, he had a wig on. And all right. So maybe it was a slow transition for him as, again, the years progressed. Things slowly became a little more acceptable. And he felt free enough to be who he is, who he was meant to be, how he was feeling. He was able to let that out and express himself. Now, today, I don't know if his name may have changed. I have no idea. I don't know how he's living his life today. But if he sees this, just know, fam, I love you, bro. I love you, fam, regardless. I love you, family. You hear what I'm saying to you? Because he never treated me any different. And I was a knucklehead back then. I hung out with knuckleheads. I was a knucklehead. But he treated me like a loved brother. That was it. Knowing that, right? Knowing that, I told myself as I got older, and if I was to ever have kids, I want to be like him, open to communicate, open to embrace, open to accept, with no judgment passed whatsoever. So I want my girls to always know that. I want them to be able to look back on this video knowing that freely at any given time, and they do know because I tell them all the time, but as a reminder, you can always come to daddy. You can come to daddy with anything. Daddy, I'm making a change. I'm making a name change. I'm making a love interest change. Like I'm identifying differently. Whatever it may be, you can come to me with that. I will never treat you any different. You are my child. You are my children. I am your father. Like when you can embrace it like that, family, when you can look at your kids like that, family, that is you truly being a father, not a 90% dad, not a 70% dad, not a 40% dad. Like certain things only apply, but the rest, let's wipe that away because I don't agree with it. No, you are 150% a father. Accepting of your children's choices. And right away, you don't have to like anything. It's not for you to like. It's for them to love. Let me say it again. I don't think you heard me. It is not for you to like. It is for them to love. It is for you to accept. And that's going to take a minute because that don't happen overnight. It doesn't happen. You have to educate yourself first. Anger comes from not being educated. That's where it lives. It comes from not being educated, not having the conversation, not being open enough to learn more, to better understand what is going on, the changes that are happening. I'll say it like this to put it in layman's terms. Companies that were stuck in their old ways and never wanted to change, they failed. They're not even here today. I remember having a conversation with a gentleman earlier this morning over breakfast, and we were talking about, when streaming media came in, like that was the future of television, was streaming media, and Blockbuster was still big. It was Blockbuster and it was Redbox. And they were like, ooh, DVDs are going to be forever, AKA the old way of thinking. The DVDs are going to be forever, yet the new wave was coming in. Streaming was coming in. Blockbuster had a chance to go over to streaming. They're like, nah, we good. We good, man. Who's Netflix? They little. They're nobody. Nobody really knows of them like that. They don't understand them like that. We're good. People are going to be with DVDs forever. The old way of thinking. What happened? Where's Blockbuster today? I had to stop and look at you because that's about as fast as a relationship between you and your child, you and your children can dissolve because you fail to see the future and understand what is coming that you have to learn more about so you can openly accept it. That's that relationship break right there. And it happens. It happens often. It happens daily because you're not willing to let love in that way. You'll let a percentage of love in, but when it comes to your kids and their decisions in life, who they choose to love, they're not forcing anything upon you. It's who they choose to love. You're not ready to accept. You're closed-minded. And they're very open to what's happening, very giving, very receiving to what's going on with their life. And there's going to be, for some, a little confusion while they're trying to figure it out. But you're so closed-minded. You don't want to accept. You do not want to let that type of love in for whatever given reason. Blockbuster didn't want to accept that streaming media was coming. They're no longer with us. Redbox no longer with us. A lot of companies that didn't want to accept change that was on its way, no longer with us today. Just things to think about. But my babies, my girls, yeah. I've had plenty of conversations with the both of them. And as a father, it feels good to be able to accept my babies however they come at me, with whatever. Any given change, any given emotion, any given crazy idea. Some of the ideas, they're wild, they're a little out there. But I expect for it to be out there. I expect for those ideas to be wild because they are growing. They are learning their potential. And they're both going to be extremely successful women. Understand that. Because I didn't block nothing. I didn't block a single blessing coming their way. Not a single one. And I will not. I am their father before I am anything else. Shemaine, man, Daym drops, man. And another conversation. Conversations are tough to have. But I think these conversations are important to have. And I love when you guys hit me in the comment section below and share your stories, right? Your experiences. I love that. Because we're listening. We're listening to one another. We're learning together. Nobody's perfect. We're going to figure this thing out, right? One day at a time. That's all we need. That's all we need. I have another crazy health update coming that I hope you guys enjoy. And I might drop it before the following week. I'm going to film it this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. So stay tuned, man. And what this channel is becoming, because of the way you guys are tuning in to these real life moments, I love that. I love that. I think all channels just kind of need a refresher, and we'll make our way away from the food, not in total, but just more of these moments. I think they make a difference. I don't know. It's your boy Drops. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all like soul food. Thanks for rocking out with your boy. I holla.